All right, everybody. Hey, this is Charles. Welcome to Basil Built. It's been a while since I posted. Had a lot going on, the holidays, and I also started a new business, plus working a regular job while that gets off the ground. So it's not been a lot of extra time, and I had a lot of personal stuff going on. So anyway, now we're gonna get back, try and get some more stuff done on the KZ back here, and we're gonna start with the front forks. So. One of the earliest videos I posted was about doing upgrading the forks with new springs and cartridge emulators on the bobber, the VL600 bobber that I've got, and it was one of the first videos I did. Not that this is not that I've been doing this forever, but it's kind of rough. And so this is the fork from the KZ 650, Kawasaki KZ650, 1978. Back here, the original forks, like I see, it's pretty rough, you know, painted and rough looking. This is the other side, and it's actually locked. I'm pretty sure this upper slider is bent. So I bought new forks, found those online. They're already on the bike, but I'm gonna upgrade them, and I want to take the forks apart to kind of see how they work, see what the insides are like, and kind of use those as demonstration pieces for the next video on the fork upgrade. However, I ran into a problem. So down inside the fork is this guy, which is stem that you need to get out. And the way you get it out is there's a bolt in the bottom there that goes inside the bottom of the fork and then attaches into the bottom of this rod. It's called the dampening rod. And the only thing in the top of the rod is a hole. So one way that you can get that out is by using this dampening rod tool, which I got from Race Tech, which is where I'm getting the springs and the emulators from. Tap it in there, use it to hold the dampening rods from turning while you turn the bolt loose on the bottom. That worked really, really well up until this point. Now this has become stuck on this. I cannot get them apart. I've tried a couple different ways. I've tried just, you know, hammering it with a hammer. That hasn't worked. Next thing is I'm going to slide it back in and wrong fork. Not going to get anywhere with that one. Slide it back into the fork, back in place, reinstall the bolt. It's not as tight now, so I can get it out easily. So reinstall that. And then the tool has a little hole through it. So boom, hold that. Try to pull, and that's not working. I've been at that for probably a good 10 minutes. Also tried hitting the screwdriver handle with a hammer. Pretty sure I'm going to bend my screwdriver before I actually get it out. So, came up with a new idea. A little piece of PVC that slides over everything, and slide the fork back in place and make a slide hammer. So let's see how that works. If that works, then we're in good shape. So, can't tell if this is working. That doesn't seem to be doing a lot. Let's take a look here. Let's do a measurement. How do you think of it? All right, so anyway, right now I've got 4 9/16 inches of the tool protruding. So let's see if it's making any difference at all. Nope. Still 4 9/16. So we're not making any progress with that. I may need to heat it, but I don't actually have a torch right now. I'm waiting. I don't have any propane. So let's see. Let's see if we can figure out another way to make this work. Maybe just having a bigger target for the hammer. Still nothing, not even a 1/16 of an inch. It is not going. All right. And the good news is that this is a throwaway. Like I said, this particular fork is damaged already. So if it doesn't work, I still got to get the tool out, but I can ultimately damage the dampening rod if I have to. And replace that. I'd prefer not to. Vice grips. See if we can get it to turn. Nope, that's not turning. It's like heating it. It's going to be about the only thing I can do. So, be right back. So there's a little sort of plastic gasket that goes around the end, forms a seal on that. So I'm going to take that off so I don't melt it when I'm trying to get this out. So the tool is aluminum and this is steel. So I'm hoping by heating it I can get the steel to expand more than the aluminum. So right now our baseline 19 inches. Now let's see if we can get it some more. Still did nothing. Getting no effect whatsoever. And I did get the, I got a infrared thermometer, so I got the tools up to about only 100 degrees. It stayed pretty cool. And the dampening rod got up to about 300, so it should have gotten still hot to the touch. Wonder if I can get something down inside there, tap it out. Like, wonder how deep it goes. Let's find out how deep it goes. Get a It's just a piece of coat hanger. So it goes. So I need something to fit down in there at least more than 5.5 inches. That's pretty long. Let's see. All right, that gives me about 1/4 inch. So let's so here's what it finally got to work, because I mounted the dampening rod in a vise, which is just clamped to this piece of wood on the table. This is not a really solid bench. And I put my vice grips on it because I was trying to rotate it. It was I was trying to rotate the two pieces against each other. But I got a pipe wrench on the other end, and boom, came out. So there it is. There's my piece out. Finally. So basically I've saved my tool, which is what I really needed. And dampening rod, I think, is in good shape. It's not too beat up, but also, so when this slides inside the tube, when it slides inside the fork, this piece at the top, the wide piece, is the only piece that is actually in contact with anything. It needs to form a good seal. And that is done with this little ring, which fits in that groove. So if you can see the ring in the groove. So, and that ring is replaceable. So anyway, got the old dampening rod out. All right. So now that we've got it all apart, I'll give you a quick rundown of how it works. So this is a basic damping rod. You got your upper slider and your lower rod. Inside this chamber is the damping rod we just took out and a spring. Inside the upper chamber is another spring, and the lower chamber is completely filled with oil and part of the upper chamber. But there's some air in there, and that's allowed to compress when the rod compresses. If it was completely full, the rod wouldn't compress because oil is not compressible. So that's the basic assembly. What it looks like, so if you take the upper slider out, you've got this. So this is our dampening rod that we took out. At the bottom of that is this little assembly with a spring and a little bottoming out piece there for the spring to fit on. So that what happens is when you compress the fork, it slides down, it hits that spring and compresses it. That keeps you from bottoming your fork. Like when you bottom out, that's so your fork doesn't jam into the bottom of everything, just destroy all the pieces. And then in the upper section, you've got a spring. And there's a bit of an air gap up there, not a lot. So basically you fill that thing with the right amount of oil and it slides up and down and creates dampening effect on your suspension. That's basically how this dampening rod works. It's very rudimentary, does an okay job if you've got a more advanced modern bike with cartridge forks, and then you ride a bike that's only got just old school dampening rods. It sucks. They're rough as hell compared to what we're used to, which is why I'm upgrading, which is why I'm gonna upgrade the forks on KZ. So there you go. That's the basics, dampening rod fork 101, and some amateur tool time problem solving. Now I'm gonna see if I can get that bent upper out of the lower for this other one. Maybe I can salvage the parts, sell them on eBay, because I got a whole new set of functioning damping forks for the forks for the KZ now. So anyway, peace. One more thing before I go. I thought, since I'm already doing a video on creative problem solving with forks that are busted, why not see how I'm going to attempt to get this slider out. The slider's jammed, probably because it's bent. So what I've done is I've reinstalled the cap, so it's sealed at the top. This fork also has a drain plug in the bottom, so I made sure the screw is back installed in there. So the only opening is in the bottom where the nut to hold the bolt to hold the damping rod inserts. So I've got my air compressor. I'm going to try some compressed air. To make sure nothing shoots up in my face, I'm going to keep it away from my face, and I've also got some rubber padding on the floor here. So with some any luck, this will just give it a little bit of space to pop out, and nothing. I didn't do a thing. So I'll try pushing it down a little bit more, and well, that's not doing it. So it's gonna take more than 100 pounds of pressure to pop that thing out. So It may be completely fucked. I don't know. Anyway, so that didn't work. So peace.